Good evening and welcome to NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Online gambling, betting apps are now becoming a big problem, ladies and gentlemen, and there is a wider consensus, at least legally and among the governments, that many people, especially from the middle class, the lower middle class, those who are getting attracted to this, is one part of the problem is also renowned actors, and influencers going across and promoting these betting apps. People are losing money, they are then going to the police, and it is becoming a big problem. In the same light, renowned actors like Rana Daggubati, Prakash Raj, Vijay, Devarakonda, Manchu, Lakshmi are now among 25 celebrities who face a police case in Telangana for allegedly promoting illegal betting apps. The FIR has been filed after a businessman filed a complaint. These celebrities and influencers have been named in the FIR. The police, in fact, say that these platforms, these betting apps, online gambling platforms, promote their apps and websites through social media advertisements with the help of celebrities and influencers. And as a result of that, thousands and lakhs of rupees are involved in these illegal platforms. And it is also leading to many families into distress. Now, remember, as per the Indian law, all kinds of gambling, whether it is online, offline, is prohibited under the law. And at this moment, this case, because there are so many big names involved in it, is gaining a lot of traction. In fact, there is another twist to this. We heard earlier, ladies and gentlemen, just a few months earlier, when during the opening, the premiere of Pushpa 2 movie, how Allu Arjun was held responsible. There he was also questioned by the police in Hyderabad after a stampede took place and a woman had passed away. At that point of time also, questions were being raised to what length are these influencers, celebrities, actors responsible? And is it Revanth Reddy or the Telangana government, in fact, hitting out at Tollywood? Showing them the place in the law. Now, that's the big question that we'll be asking this evening. How actors should they be held more responsible? Should they be more accountable on the work that they do, promoting any kind of activity, any kind of advertisement they associate themselves with? Or are they just the soft targets? Is it Revanth Reddy government versus Tollywood? Once again, let's, before in fact we go across to our panel, let's listen into Mr. Prakash Raj, one of the actor who has been named in this FIR. He has put out a clarification. Listen in.
Well, just now from here I came to know on the social media and certain media talking about the betting app ad I did. And I asked questions to everybody and I need to answer too. So this is my answer. I have not received anything from the police station or any summons as such, and when it does, I will definitely reply them. But I think it's my responsibility to reply and clear things for you. In 2016, June, Changli Rami people had approached me for a gaming app ad, and I did do it. But within few months, my conscience, it may be legal, but I thought it was not right, and but I couldn't do anything because I had done it, and so I let it go. It was for a year's contract, and immediately when they wanted to renew it, I said no, my conscience doesn't accept it, I don't want to continue. So this happened around 8-9 years back, and since then I have not done any ads which promote online gambling.
So Mr. Prakash is saying that this happened a lot earlier, about 8-9 years back, and since he's not, in fact, gone to any or endorsed any online gaming platform or betting app. Now, joining me at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, Rana Reddy, spokesperson of the BJP in Telangana. We are also being joined by Rohit Rao. He's the spokesperson of the Congress party, and we are also being joined at this moment by Mr. L. Ravichandar. He's a senior advocate, Telangana High Court. We'll also be going across in a short while from now to Kasturi Shankar, an actor herself, to try and get a sense of what does the film industry think about this. But let me first get a legal perspective. Mr. Ravichandar, I'll start by you, sir. Naming these actors in the FIR, How does the law justify that? I mean, the petitioner says they should be held accountable. Under what grounds in the law can these actors be held accountable for these betting apps, sir?
Of the betting app, either you're propagating it, you're participating in it, then you are committing an offense under the new act, the amended act. One. Now, the complaint itself is too raw, too new. It's only at the stage of an investigation. So I guess the police will start sieving the material. They'll find out who has contributed to the offense, if any, and those who have not contributed will be left alone. For instance, look at what Mr. Prakash Raj said. If you look at what Mr. Prakash Raj said, he said two very important things. He said, I did this way back about 7-8 years ago, which would imply that he's not governed by the provisions of the amended act of 2017. Understand that the 2017 act was the one that regulated gaming online. Prior to that, gambling activities was real world. So I guess, as if I can see now, Prakash Raj has not committed an offense. And I'm sure he'll be purged if the police officials see that his line of defense, as he makes out to be, is valid. Now, if the contract was for a period within the Gambling Act period, then he may still be liable. But that's too far-fetched as of now. Because to then say that a law would operate retrospectively would be dangerous, so it won't. But having said that, I think the Supreme Court has repeatedly said the job of the investigating agency is whenever somebody comes and complains, register an FIR, conduct an inquiry. That's all they are doing. There's an old 41A equivalent of whatever the president, and that's happening.
Okay, but a lot, because this inquiry is now going on, a lot is being said. Of course, it has become a talking point. Kasturi is also joining us at this moment. Kasturi Shankar, actor, activist. Thank you for speaking to us. Kasturi, let me first ask you this. Actors, for the products that they endorse or they associate themselves with, there is a certain moral responsibility as well. It just can't be about money exchanging hands and putting your face endorsing something. This is a problem. A lot of middle class or youth are also getting influenced because actors are putting their name to these betting apps. Can they now come and claim some sort of innocence and ignorance on their part about these betting apps?
Okay, thank you for having me on this show. And actually several of the people who have been booked today, Tollywood names, I know them personally as well. So I do have a bias towards them. And in spite of it, I say kudos. I think we have to appreciate the Telangana government for taking a step in the right direction. Somebody has to bell the cat somewhere. I do think, as you said, there is a legal aspect to it. And frankly, legally speaking, I don't see how this can hold against many of the people who have modeled or endorsed a product that has already been approved. The product or the service has been approved to legally function and advertise in India. So these guys, these stars have endorsed it for a sum of money. So legally speaking, this is not a very tenable case, but ethically and morally, especially in the Telugu region, Andhra and Telangana. Yes, all over India, film stars hold a huge sway over a very huge influenceable population. But in Telangana, it is all the more so. Right. People are movie crazy here. We love our movie stars. So I think every movie star has a responsibility to ask himself, to ask his conscience, whether what they are promoting is the right thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, is it legally tenable? Sure. But is this something you would do yourself?
But
would you let your
You're
family...
right. I mean, you'll have to be more careful in what you endorse. There are many things that could be allowed, but there is an image that you also have. People are gullible. They think that if you are doing it, then it is absolutely all right. But,
Exactly.
but Rachna Reddy, is it going a step too further, labeling the government on a crusade against Tollywood? Because we saw these kind of reactions coming in from the opposition, even when Allu Arjun was called in for questioning in the Stampede case. The movie industry will be spooked. They will be lost to Hyderabad. They'll move out. Is it too far, or is the government at this moment just making sure that people responsible for the welfare, the well-being of the citizens, if anybody goes against that, the law will take its own course, whether it's an actor or anybody else?
Here, I would like to take the middle route and actually speak as a lawyer myself. Here is the thing. I mean, if you want to compare both Allu Arjun's case and the present betting apps and the film actors involved, Allu Arjun's case was that of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. I mean, there is a proper law there, and the fact that it was not his intention, it was not his motive to see that somebody died in the stampede was not something that legally speaking is tenable, and that is why he was arrested. Now, here with the betting app and the actors, there are a few different laws that are coming into one cross-section. As Ravichandar ji has just spoken, the Telangana Amendment Act of 2017 is the first place where online betting of any kind, gaming, betting, whatever you may call, has started. Now, that is intersecting with the IT Act. And IT Act, in case of financial transactions that are considered to be illegal, or extraterritorial, etc. I mean, in case of investigation, the PMLA, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, also has been invoked in these instances. Now, the IT Act.
No, but ma'am, let me ask you something very straight, because you are from the BJP. Before I go to my Congress representative, does your party or support this this action by the government of Telangana, or are you opposed it? Because many people could also argue that actors are just a soft target. You name them, you get the media circus going on, attention going on, but the real culprits are then, of course, that's the question: will the real culprits be caught?
The BJP stand is that betting apps are illegal and they should be stopped. Okay. Now, how far the culpability of actors goes has to be investigated. So we are not going to
Rohit Rao, let me then ask you this. A lot of people are arguing that actors are soft target. 25 of these actors, you name them in the FIR. One of them has put out a clarification, Mr. Prakash Raj, that this happened 8 years back. Suddenly he is now named in an FIR. It's just a soft targeting of these actors. The real culprits are the people, those who are running these betting apps, which possibly should be the focus of the government.
Ankit, thank you for having us here. But see, first of all, let me clarify. The 25 number, it is right. There were 25 people that were accused of a crime and the investigation is going on. I think it's a bit too far stretched to say that all of them are actors, because I've gone through all the names, barring 4 or 5 major names like Prakash Raj and others. Most of them are social influencers, right? YouTube stars and some small social media influencers. So let's not blow it out of proportion, number one. The second point is, all of us in this panel, including the Kasturi ma'am who comes from the industry, as well as a lawyer, we've got a BJP spokesperson, all of them have unanimously said, as far as I've understood, that betting apps should be banned, and the government has done the right thing by taking the action. So when you say that there's a lot of complaints being raised in the government, I'm yet to hear that. I think we should appreciate the Telangana government for taking a stand that no matter who you are, no matter what you are, no matter what your background is, you are going to fall under the purview of the law. And if you please, recall the statement made by Mr. Prakash Raj just a while ago. You could see he's normally a very outspoken guy. He doesn't mince his words. He's very outspoken.
Are you worried? Are you worried that in a way this could spook the Tollywood industry, which is based in Hyderabad? People could start looking out, somewhere else, because nobody wants to, especially the film stars, they don't want to get into any kind of legal hassles.
There is absolutely nothing like that happening, and I'm really sorry that we are trying to pull in something, some major thing out of here. The names that you took, Allu Arjun case was completely different. There was a there's a victim that got, unfortunately, there was a very bad incident that happened. So let's not mix that and try and make it into
No,
something
nobody's
that's not
mixing
there.
it. It's just that there are two things which are happening
there
one
is-
after
this
another.
is-
So
this is a-
that's
this is a
the
betting-
only reason why the questions
this
are
is
being
the
asked. But hold
betting-
on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. Mr.
The
Ravichandran,
scenario here, please allow me to finish my point.
ahead,
Just
go
one
ahead.
sentence.
Go ahead.
There's absolutely, we are supporting the police in taking this action. Let the investigation complete. And like the legal experts said here, whether the case will hold or not, I'm not going to make a judgment. I'm not a lawyer.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I think it's right for the government to take
You
the
made
action.
that
and I'm
point
fully
that
supportive.
the government is only looking after the welfare of the people, of the complainants, those who are losing money, and it doesn't matter. The law will follow its own course, whether it leads to any big name or not. But let me very quickly get Mr. Ravichandran in on this. Mr. Ravichandran, can the film stars, influencers, so and so forth, can these people claim ignorance? Can they say that, look, we didn't know, we were just promoting something else? They said that we are, it's all legal. Can they claim ignorance legally if they are questioned or they are pulled into the court?
Can they? They can. Will they? I'm sure they will. But will it be legally feasible? I would suspect no. Simple reason is this. You can't make money out of a certain proposition, turn around very naively and say, I don't know of its consequences. Two things I'd like to deal with even though those questions were not thrown at me. Are they a soft target? Is Hyderabad or is Telangana losing out on Tollywood? Two questions are very, very important that need to be dealt with. Are they soft targets? Maybe they are. I'm not denying it. But soft targets that does not become a defense in itself. If as a soft target, don't forget, you're living in glass houses, you'll have to invest on curtains. So I have no problem. These soft targets will have to be more responsible. Like Caesar's wife, above suspicion. I have no doubts about it. Because don't forget that a model, if he gets paid X amount of money, a film actor gets exponentially higher amount of money because he brings with him a standard, a repute,
Absolutely.
a connect with the viewer. So he cannot feign ignorance. He cannot feign saying, I'm a soft target. Is Telangana losing out to Tollywood? Well, that's a choice the government will have to make. Law versus economics. And if that is the choice they have to make, it will have to be law, not economics.
Okay. That's very well explained. Because Suri, let me get you in on this, because you are also an insider. You people must be when these things happen. Of course, there would be chatter around in the film world about these things. Is there a sense of victimhood, or is there a sense, in the industry that this is something possibly we have crossed a line? All of us need to be careful in future.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you what we have been speaking in the last few hours since this news broke out, because that obviously is not for public
I'm just trying
dissemination.
to understand the mood in the industry.
I'll say this. It's split. I'll say this. The mood is split. The opinions are definitely sharply divided, because someone before me said you cannot compare the Allu Arjun situation where a life was lost with actors getting booked for endorsing an online betting app. And unfortunately, one has to remember more lives have been lost. More lives have been completely ruined by these online betting apps. And the film industry, my friends and my colleagues, are aware of that. They are cognizant of that. Nobody is even talking about justifying their actions. Most of them are truly regretful of these apps and their association with them. And I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm just saying, as Mr. Ravichandran pointed out, it's not all movie stars. Most of them are influencers,
Right.
if you will. But there is a sense of regret because, and there are also other questions. There are many questions, and I'm trying to say this as politically correctly as possible,
I'm
but
sure.
there are many questions. Wait, let me finish. There are many questions where we point to the big Khans and the big names in Bollywood
Yeah.
who are able to endorse Pan Parag, I can't say that brand name. Pan
Tobacco
masala
or anything
ads
else,
and-
yes.
Yes, pan masala ads and alcohol surrogate ads where they end up endorsing T-shirts or mineral water
Yes,
instead
yes.
of the alcohol brand. And there is also the biggest questions are directed towards sports stars who endorse online betting apps. Why is the Telangana government looking at the actors and not the bigger stars
Right.
who are the sports stars? These are the questions
So I
coming
think,
from the insides.
like you said, I think it's one thing is very clear that the people would want, if you are going after the evil, then don't see, then the net has to be broadened. Don't single out people. It just can't be one film industry or few actors here and there. I am completely out of time, but I thank all of you for joining me and putting out your perspective on this very important story. We'll keep tracking this. Thank you so much for joining me this evening